Hi, I'm Joe Tunstall. One of the big questions we get in our office on a regular basis, usually unfortunately after the fact and after it's too late to do anything about it, is what kind of insurance, automobile insurance, do I need here in North Carolina? And I really hate it when I get that question after somebody's been in a collision and while we're looking through their deck page or declarations page. That's the page that shows us how much insurance they've already purchased. The big reason I hate that question at that point is because there's not a lot we can do about it. At that point, everything's already purchased and we're kind of moving forward. One of the things I like to talk about at that point is really, okay, what do you have? And is this something that in the future we could make sure we have what you need? So let me explain a little bit about the differences. Liability insurance is what pays in case you're at fault. You cause the collision, you're the one who is responsible. The second kind of insurance that's out there is what they call uninsured motorist or underinsured motorist. That's if someone else causes the collision, but they don't have enough insurance in North Carolina. And unfortunately, we see that quite often. Sometimes that means that they have what we call a minimum limits policy, a 30-60 policy. Sometimes that means they have a policy that is $50,000 and you have $250,000 worth of medical expenses. You've had some sort of surgery and you need help. So I'm going to attempt to explain this a little bit better using a board. As I decided to do this last minute, I'm going to set this up very quickly. So give me just 1 second. So this is probably going to be one of the least prepared diagrams I've done in a while, but at the end of the day, the purpose of this video is to teach, not necessarily to be pretty. So what we're talking about is liability. Liability in North Carolina, or the minimum limits to drive, are $30,000 per person, $60,000 per accident. I may do this video again and use my computer to break it down so it's a little easier to see. Underinsured motorist, also called UM or UIM, underinsured motorist, that's any amount in North Carolina that is above 3060. So by statute, which is 2279.21B4, it is an amount greater than 3060. So that would start at $5,100, so at least $50,000 worth of insurance per person, and can go up into $1 million worth of coverage. You know, whenever we talk about $1 million, it always sounds like a ton of money until someone's seriously hurt. I'm not going to sit here and tell you need $1 million worth of underinsured motorist coverage. I will tell you that if I had to decide between buying more liability coverage and more underinsured motorist coverage, the underinsured motorist coverage is what protects you and your family. Everybody's got a different break point on that. Some people mean that that's something that they would rather spend extra money on. Some other people are saying, I just can't afford that. So my recommendation is as much of that as you can afford. A 100-300, meaning $100,000 per person, $300,000 per wreck policy is usually the minimum I usually recommend to my clients. And the reason for that is it's so easy to run up $100,000 worth of medical bills. It just is. One bad surgery, a badly broken bone, 5 days in the hospital if you don't have good health insurance. All of which can financially devastate a family. So the second type of coverage that I always recommend to my clients is medical payment coverage. Sometimes your insurance agent will call it medpay. Why do you like medpay? Well, medpay is no fault. If I run into a tree, if I overturn going down the road, or if someone hits me, all of the above mean I can still use medpay. MedPay is what you can buy in an amount. I usually say it's an amount equal to 2 of your deductibles. So if one of your deductibles is $8,000 and your second deductible is $8,000, then get at least $15,000 worth of MedPay. I usually carry $25,000 worth of MedPay because in case myself and a couple of family members in the car when something happens, we want to make sure we include the entire family maximum per year as part of our MedPay. Then you may have some insurance that you need to pay beyond that, but at least you always have your medical coverage paid. I know this video probably went longer than I meant to it. My name is Joe Tunstall. Been doing personal injury for over 22 years here in North Carolina. I tried a lot of these cases, and these are the type of questions we get every single week and every single day, and I just wanted to respond to some of them. Thank you.